Hi Richie, how are you?
Hey Laura, I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, look, I'm in a really good space. Like I am buzzing from being able to connect with so many people on this platform. It's just been such a big day for me, just so incredibly exciting. And thank you to you as well. You know, you are the first man that's come on the platform. So yay! You know, one for the men, and may there be many more. And I know that you were just saying that you had a read through the platform and you were liking what you were seeing, and that made you want to share. And so I just want to acknowledge that and just really appreciate that as well.
Oh, that's no problem at all. It's great to be on somewhere where we can just openly chat about things that are happening in life because you just don't
Mm.
seem to get the chance these days. So it's a great space to do that.
Yeah, so
I'm
thank you.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, great. How about you tell us a little bit about yourself, perhaps where you live, if you like, and what work you do, and then get on to, this whole coronavirus
Mhm.
pandemic. How is that affecting you? And wherever you want to start, let's just go with the flow.
Alrighty. Well, I live in Ellerslie in Auckland. I work in the residential construction area, so as a project manager. So for us, we don't have a dip in work. We've got houses to build, people to put into them, so that's not really going to
Mm,
change too much. Obviously, our clients moving forward will have a dip if they're losing income. So that's always something we're going to look forward to and negotiate around those things.
mm,
Coronavirus wise, it'll probably slow construction down with separation between people, trades one at a
mm,
time. So for us, not too much. Family wise, going through a few more cleaning procedures,
mm.
um, not going out as much, but still sort of getting the kids out. Um, and just keeping a tab on things. I say the biggest thing would be how schools react and whether they get shut down and how we're going to manage that after school care or during school care if they do get shut down. So one day at a time, and we're just going step by step. So not too stressed, but just keeping an eye on things,
Yeah.
basically.
And
Mm.
so, and I think that was actually something I saw some construction work that was happening around where I live, and it made me kind of wonder how that actually works. I imagine that you'd have to keep distance, and you'd have to keep, like you just mentioned, that you've got the different teams that are going to come at different times, and it's going to slow construction down, which I think everyone's
Mhm.
probably understandable of, and that your deadlines maybe now have to be extended. But
Yeah.
how does it actually work? Like if you've got people who would normally be carrying, I don't know what you call them, like truss or something like there's two people on either side of something, and they're now
Mhm.
handling equipment and they're doing all that. How are you managing all that?
So there's guidelines getting updated each week,
Mm, mm,
and we're getting them almost from our company every second or third day. We're at stage 2 in our platform, heading for stage 3, which is basically sterilising hands, sterilised stations, masks going to start coming out,
yeah.
mainly the protection side,
Mm,
due to the fact that it's not company-wide or community-wide just yet. We've got
mm,
a few areas.
mm,
So
mm,
we're quite limited with what we have. A lot of our materials are New Zealand-based already and have been in quarantine
mm,
for a certain amount of time. So as that progresses, I guess each stage will just be more cleaning
yeah.
and distancing, less people in the house. So everything will just sort of go slow down, but
Yeah.
we've got to keep going. We do have the deadlines, but
Yeah.
we're quite idealistic that they're going to have to be stretched out. Everyone's
Yeah.
awareness is up there, so
Yeah.
it'll just be a little bit more management, really,
Yeah.
of
And I guess
those
if
issues.
that, sorry, Karen.
Oh, that was it.
Oh.
Something's on my foot's tickling me, so I have to move. Oh, it's an old mouse with a cable in it. That's why.
Oh, okay. When you said mouse, I was like, when you say old, how long has it been there for? But I'm glad you showed it was just the computer mouse. Woo, what a relief. I guess, the positives that come out of this is that the people whose places that you're busy building for them potentially could have their peace of mind around the fact that you've got time to do quality. You know, you're not rushing it. You're having to be more specific. You're having to be really thorough. And I think that that's potentially a really good thing.
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Yes and no. Always thorough to start with.
Of course, number one.
It's the quality doesn't change, just the duration. So our clean at the end will probably be a full sterilisation, so that the client moving in will know once that door's shut and we give them the key, no one's been in there. And I would say we'd have to have that certified. That would be stage 4, to make sure that it's a sterilised home. But that'll be quite exciting. That'll be another layer of management to deal with, which will keep me busy over the next couple of months anyway. So that'll be quite exciting.
Yeah, and I imagine that you'd get a whole bunch of procedures written up for just in the event that there's another pandemic at some point in the future. This is what you do.
Maybe another email or 10 or 15 or that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned, obviously, with the kids that you've got, how is that as a father with kids that are going to school and that are used to, you know, rough and tumbling with their mates, or, you know, sharing food, or, you know, we always try and get them not to share their drink bottles and, you know, also other kind of stuff generally. How is that for you?
How was that for me? Well, this week gone, it's been no sharing lunch. That's it. Come on, guys, you've got to be wary. And just bringing them up to speed. So it's a lot more talking. Come on, guys, this. You've got to sanitize. Don't touch that. Don't touch. We go out shopping and it's like, good. Don't touch.
Hands in your pockets for once.
Yeah. So it's, I guess it's just another layer to teach them and learn at the same time, because it's something new for us as well. We had to go into this. So it's just taking it in our stride, another layer, just another layer of cleaning and being wary. So I'm just seeing I've got another update from work coming through. So we're at stage 4 now. Well, we've jumped. So there's some more new emails to read tonight. Keep myself up to date.
Yeah, and I think that's also been. I want to go back to the kids soon, but I think that's been something that has actually been really good. That we have been getting regular updates. That everybody is communicating and actually being more transparent with what is actually going on, because it is of such a serious nature. We are being kept informed, and it's about discernment on things like social media as to how much of that we actually take on board and we take as truth. You know, it is better, obviously, to, when you get those emails from your Ministry of Health or from, you know, whichever department, that we do really read them and we try and follow those guidelines as much as possible.
Yes, that is one good thing that I've sort of noticed. We are getting a lot of communication, and I've seen there's quite a few Facebook posts of things going in China and craziness going on. So I personally have just sort of blocked out the Facebook posts, other than ones that have come from direct friends saying, hey, check this out. But also just sort of stuck to what our government has put through.
Yeah.
So you know that you're getting a direct channel rather than like a 15th channel down the line where people are getting a bit of hype and a bit of Chinese whispers on it. So
yeah, exactly.
And I guess I've sort of stayed away from it this week, being a bit too busy with work. Had a lot on, so I've sort of, friends give me an update going, oh, have you heard about this? I'm like, oh no, let me just quickly go on to stuff and get an update. And oh, okay, level 2, sweet, okay. Next stage. So that side of things been pretty good. Lots of information out there. And you can sort of take as much as you want from different channels and not get too much in the hype, but stick to basic hygiene and rules that are coming out. It's pretty straightforward stuff.
Yeah, don't let yourself get bogged down by all the extra detail. Just find out what the facts are, do what it is you've been needing to do, and if you need to isolate. You know, it's not about us, it's about everybody else that we could infect if we were infected by it.
Yeah, and look, there's you can keep up with friends, Facebook, phones, and talk to people, video chats.
Yeah.
There's so much more media now, or more platforms you can communicate. It's actually a lot easier than rather than going down to a friend's house and having a few
Yeah.
beers. You can have a beer online and chat, put your feet up. You can maybe sit in some shorts and have a video chat. So
Yeah, I was hoping you weren't going to say undies. I was like, now if it is undies, none of us need to know, okay? You just leave it as shorts. We'll just, bleep, rewind, play. But so true, so true. You know, we can get away with a little bit more now, you know, in terms of what's acceptable behavior and acceptable dress codes. You know, we can be a bit more casual now because there isn't an expectation of us to get all dressed up for work, which is lovely.
Yeah. No, that's really good. So, yeah, the working from home is quite good. I quite like working from home. A lot less interruption, so it becomes more efficient in a way.
Yeah.
Other than, I guess, missing the good fun that we have at work. So we got a really good team. Quite an open plan office. And that's one of the great bonuses in our company. You can rock up to anyone in the company, have a conversation about work, and have a laugh and a chatter. So now I guess we'll just change into video chats with each other, which would be quite exciting.
And when that happens, when that's taken away from us, we start to gain a greater appreciation of what it is that we had. And so now we kind of go, that was important. And that is something that we really need to foster and grow. So we've got that in the back of our mind, I think, you know, way back, and we're kind of going, we need to remember that when all this is over, that was important to us. You know, that was something that we had value in. And so when we go back, we need to really remember that we encourage that and are motivated to keep doing that.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. We get used to where we are here, and we've got a bit of virus, so we have to change and go over here and learn a new manner of communicating.
Yeah.
So it's actually it's a good challenge to shift it up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And just in terms of just being a dad, I guess there comes that challenge where, you know, if you are the dad, you know, you've got your kids, they do look up to you, and they're very susceptible. Kids are so susceptible to energy, right? That if you were fearful, but you're saying that you're not, they're going to pick up on that. You know, if you're going, oh, don't worry about it, then they're going, well, we're not informed, so now we're worrying about it, you know. And I think that there's a very fine line that as a parent, we have to be so aware of how it is that we are passing this information on without getting them so absolutely petrified to leave the house, because that's going to potentially create post-traumatic stress. They're going to become teenagers one day when this all blows over, you know, and they're going to have something that's in the back of their mind that goes, I'm scared of people, or I'm scared of germs, or, you know, I'm going to die. I don't know why. I can't remember. You know, and have you got special tactics or any suggestions that you might be able to have for the other dads that are out there on how they could approach it if they're like, I don't know how to talk to my kids about this, I'm petrified, but I have to be the man, you know, or I have to be strong, or I can't show that I'm scared. How would you suggest that men could approach that if they were having those issues?
I've always been quite factual. The facts are the facts. So if you hide them from them, they're just going to get it from someone else, and it could be skewed. So I like to jump in early and describe to them right down in detail. And they're little humans, and they will work out. And if they show the signs of getting a bit scared, well, then you can tailor it back to simple, easy to swallow information. I'm trying to think of the being scared factor or worried. I think you can probably wrap that up and saying, yeah, I'm a bit worried, but you know, we've got great people in management areas in the government that are looking out for us and giving us the best information that we can. And we'll just tackle it one bridge at a time to get through it.
And together.
Probably the best I could advise.
Yeah.
That's sort of how I come across my issues.
Yeah. And I think that when kids feel like they're involved, they have a sense of belonging. and they have a sense of connection.
Mm.
And it's actually something that could bring all parents and kids together. You know, if we push them away and be like, oh, don't worry about it, it's fine, you know, we're looking after it, just wash your hands. They're going to be like, hang on, there was something underlying there. It's going to make me really worried, and I don't know whether washing my hands is going to be enough. Or we could approach them and just be like, let's just have a chat, right? There's this thing called COVID-19, and this is kind of what it's doing. It's not so much here, like you said, stating the facts. This is how we as a family can look after ourselves, and this is how we as a family can look after our friends and our other family, and this is how we can look after the rest of the community. So if we're starting to feel sick, this is what we're going to do, you know, but we're not going to just think that because we've, you know, got a runny nose or something, that we have now got coronavirus, because that's catastrophizing and that's not going to help.
No.
You know, and having those conversations with them.
Oh yeah, definitely. For weeks and years in the past, we get a cold, we get a runny nose, we blow it, and if it gets really bad, we go to the doctor. Not much has changed there. We've just got another virus. It's like the man flu, you know. Now women can understand what the man flu is really like.
I love that. So wait a minute. Let me just pause you. Let me just pause. Are you saying, let me just make sure I've got my facts right. Are you saying that the coronavirus is like the man flu, and man flu is like the coronavirus?
In a roundabout kind of way. It
No.
hasn't been proven yet, so we can't say that as fact.
Because we're going to have an exponential amount of men that are going to be like, yeah, and women that are going to be like, what?
Yeah, so yeah, it's an interesting one. So it's a step by step for the kids. The kids are actually they're quite up to date with what's been going through school, so they know quite a lot. So I had a chat to the boys this weekend about washing hands and so forth, and they're like, I know, Dad. It's like, oh, okay then. Right, wash your hands. Washy. That's my new word we got it from a cruise ship. Washy.
Wash your
wash your hands. Mm.
Yeah. You're like, yes, yeah, let's all go and do it. I walk into the house and I'm like, sanitizer, wash. Okay, back to work. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got it in the car. So it's one of our rules for work. You've got to have your sanitizer. You go out, sanitize your hands, come back and sanitize your hands. Baby wipes are always in the car, so always wiping things down. And that's basically all we can do.
And remain positive.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's nothing to get you down. Just be aware. And take the steps to keep yourself safe.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. If you were to leave the audience, our viewers, with a take-home message, something that you really feel from the bottom of your heart that you want to just put out there for them, what might that be?
Keep the channels of communication open, and don't be afraid to discuss anything. Feelings-wise, happiness, cheer, joy, laughter, and just keep going. Really, that's all we can offer.
It will end one day.
Absolutely.
There is an end. It's not going to be like this forever.
No. We just got to change a few things, that's all.
Perfect. I love that. Well, Richie, thank you so much for coming on board and for sharing your words as my solo male so far. May you bring many more my way, and obviously not just my way, but to everybody who's watching. I really do appreciate you taking the time to help me with that. So thank you very much.
Oh no, look, it's been a pleasure to help out and spreading out some nice, happy vibes around the world.
Yeah.
Doing a great thing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So much. Yeah. Bye for now.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.